This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Young Derek would love to take my order.
Hi.
He works at the coffee shop just up the street.
Morning.
He's happy and annoying with a smirk the size of Texas. He's my coffee enemy.
Would you like a mochaccino? Or perhaps a cappuccino? Or maybe a frappuccino?
Said Derek wearing the chinos. All I really want is a cup of coffee. So strong the spoon stands up, just a cup of coffee. All I really want is a cup of coffee. Give me a friggin' cup of coffee, Derek.
Hey, this is Amber. This is Spence talking. What's up, girl?
Not much.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm unemployed. I share a one-bedroom apartment with my granddaughter, but that's not going to stop me from telling you what's true. Are you ready to hear the second part of my love story?
Sure.
Let me just ask you this question first. Are you interested in getting to know me a little bit better?
Sure.
All right. I have 25/20 vision. That's pretty good. All right. I had braces for only 9 months, which is also below average. Most people have braces for at least 15 months, so my teeth weren't that bad. I go to the dentist once every 2 years because I feel like I don't have to go more than that. Are you following me, Amber, with a silent H?
Okay.
Are you ready for step 3 of this love conversation?
Sure.
All right, Amber. Well, I grew up in northern North Dakota, which a lot of people confuse with Canada because we talk funny just like them. It took me 45 minutes to get to the nearest convenience store. So when I wanted a candy bar, it was like a 2-day event because I didn't have a car. In the winter, no, I wasn't eating candy. No chance. People didn't shovel my snow, Amber. It took me 3.5 years to learn English, and I lived in America. You understand where I'm going at, girl?
Yeah.
All right. My favorite number is 12.3.
Okay.
All right, now it's time to talk about you. All the things I just said, you answer those same questions. You ready?
Okay.
How do you spell your social security number?
How do I spell my social security number?
If I was born on February 29th, would you still love me? I'd only be 8 years old, yes.
Okay.
All right, Amber. I'm going to get going. I have to bathe my granddaughter. Hi, hello, Coffee Nation, and welcome to Coffee with Friends podcast, episode 10. I'm your host, Carl Coffee, and downgraded to sidekick is Tim Anderson, who's here live at the CoffeeConUSA.com studios. How are you, Tim?
I'm great. How are you, Carl?
I'm touching you.
You are.
Our guest today is David. Don't call me Dave Burr. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing great. What's up?
You can also call him DB.
I will.
Douche Nation.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, anything.
That doesn't work.
All right, guys, listen. We're part of two networks, the Overtime Sports Network. You can check them out at otsportsnetwork.com. They're doing a lot of great things. Blogs, podcasts, wrestling podcasts. Or go on Twitter, _OTSN. Listen, the Detroit Sports Podcast. Love these guys. They have a website, too, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. But they do their things big on Twitter. At Detroit Podcast on Twitter. All right. So, we have David Burr with us. We have Tim Anderson, who's next to me.
I am, Carl.
Let's preview this show. Remember, guys, this is a sports podcast, so we will talk sports a little bit later on. But it's December. It's
Christmas time.
The Lions suck. Who cares about the Red Wings or Pistons? Who cares about college football? College basketball only matters in March. Baseball is a long ways away. There's not much to talk about.
Yeah.
I have one little segment later. I'm bringing back I Bet You Can't. It's been a while. We have an 8-1 Disney Princesses. We lost all our listeners. We have a challenge called the Stolen Baby Jesus Challenge. And our main topic...
Everybody loves Disney.
You're going to interrupt me, Douche Nation?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I love you, Carl.
Listen, I'm just kidding. Our main topic is called PC PETA. What does that mean?
What does that mean, Carl?
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Gosh.
Okay, so guys, have you ever heard the song from 9 Days called Story of a Girl?
I have, Carl.
Yes.
What do you
yes,
think?
for sure.
What do you think of it, DB?
I think somebody cried a river and drowned the whole world.
But why does he only love her when she's smiling? That really bothers me.
How many days are in a year?
365 and a quarter, Carl. Come on, man.
Unless it's a leap year.
That's my song of the week. Listen, can't stop listening to it. Awesome song.
I love it. It's a good song.
It brings you back to 10th grade, right?
No, I honestly didn't hear that kind of music when I was 15.
Wow, sheltered life.
So, yeah, definitely sheltered life. It's okay, though.
All right, guys.
I was...
How many continents do you think hippos live in? And I'm not talking about zoos, like in the wild.
Hippos?
Hippos, Tim.
In the wild?
6, Carl?
Stop it. Really,
1 or
6.
2?
Not counting the zoos.
I'm gonna just go with 2.
So hippos are native.
I really think it's 1, but I don't know.
No, hippos are native
Could
in
be 2.
Africa, but in the
Right.
in the heyday of the drug lord from Colombia,
Pablo Escobar?
he started his own zoo. He got animals, every single kind of animal, including 4 hippos. And when he was killed in the early 90s, the Colombian government, they moved all the animals to nearby zoos, except for hippos, because they're very dangerous.
Yes, they are.
So fast forward 25 years, and now there's a hippo epidemic in Medellin. There's over 50 hippos, and it's hippo haven because there's no predators, there's no droughts. They just keep multiplying, and it's become very dangerous in the area. So now, if you look at a map of where hippos live, you'll see in a very small part in South America that hippos live. And I just think that's crazy interesting, Tim.
Do you know remember the Disney show movie Tarzan?
No?
Well, that was filmed in the Ocklawaha River of Florida. There are now monkeys that are native to that river because of that movie.
Yeah, but can monkeys kill you? Hippos are the most dangerous mammals in the world.
Monkeys can kill you, but hippos are more dangerous for sure.
Who? He was thug life.
I just think it's crazy that there's all these freaking hippos just hanging around in Colombia.
Are they delicious? Carl?
Okay.
I don't know.
They look like they're delicious.
There's just.
They think you're delicious, hippos. They'll eat you.
I'd eat me.
All right, before we go, I bet you can't. We had someone die last Friday. George H.W. Bush. And it was the first time
Very sad.
in my true adult life where a president died. Yeah, Reagan died when I was 21, but I really didn't care because I was in college. So I kind of took it all in. I watched the funeral. Listen, it was sad, but it had me thinking, guys, because I'm a dark soul. Who's gonna die next? So I'm gonna give you four options. I have 3 famous people, and then or you can do a wild card. So I'm gonna name some people, and then we're all gonna pick. Got it, Burr?
Got it.
So Betty White turns 97 in January.
She's a choice.
Dang.
We have Kirk Douglas, who turns 102 in 3 days.
He's a cockroach.
Are you serious?
We have Bob Dole, who I cried when I saw him salute, but
For sure.
he looked awful, so he's close.
Yeah.
Or you can do wild card. You pick. It has to be a celebrity. Burr, who dies next? Who dies next?
I'm sad to see, and I'll be sad to see him go. I honestly think it's going to be Bob Dole.
Wow. Can you believe that? He picked a guy who's 95 over Kirk Douglas.
I did. I know.
I'm picking Kirk Douglas. Dude, he's 102.
Okay.
Come on.
I know, but if he's already lived past 100, he's still going. Good for him.
You picked Dole too?
No, I picked Richard Simmons.
Well,
Wild card.
Well, he's probably in his 60s or 70s.
And last I knew, he was in rough shape, which means he needs to jazzercise, Carl. He's
All
getting
right.
down to the oldest.
So we all picked someone different, and Betty White's in the clear.
Again,
Thank you for being a friend.
Still hot.
Thank you for being a friend. Listen, okay.
True story. For the first 10 years of my life, I thought Betty White was my grandmother.
Weird.
That's a true story.
Here's a true story. I moved back to Michigan in 2009, and I have a love for this crazy sport called wiffle ball.
What?
It's how I kind of got close to you, Tim.
That's not the only way, Carl.
And I had to gain a following. So I don't know how I found her. It might have been Craigslist. Might have been Facebook.
It was Facebook because it was. I found you
over Craigslist.
I found you through a friend on Facebook, actually, because I went to this group at a church.
Oh, that's saying too much. Listen, I found him on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, all right, we're having a pickup game at so-and-so time, probably in the evening during the weekend. So Burr meets us at this open field in the middle of nowhere, boarding some woods. And within 3 minutes, the dude dives in some glass, and he's bleeding profusely, just like all over the place. We're like, dude, you should go seek medical help. He's bleeding. He's turning purple, and he just kind of, no, I can do this. So my first impression of this guy is like he's diving in glass during pickup wiffle ball in the middle of nowhere. We're never going to see him again. And now 9 years later, 9.5 actually, we're still friends. So that's my David Burr story. Is that how you remember it, David?
Not exactly.
What do you mean?
I mean, it was close. It was close. Like I definitely don't remember turning purple. I remember I dove and there's skin hanging off my wrist, and you guys were freaking out. And I was like, "Hey, you guys got a towel or something I could wrap around my?"
No, we don't think about stuff like
bloody
that.
arm.
We don't dive. We weren't that good.
And you guys did. Somebody had a towel.
Oh, sure.
And so I was able to wrap it up. And I was like, "Yeah, guys, I think I need to go home."
Yeah, that's what I did to wrap it up.
Take care of it. That was it. And I went home. I bandaged it. Talked to a nurse that was in my church at the time. Everything was good. Never got it stitched up or anything.
And, when we started the league 2 years later, we were like, David, you want a team? You earned one, Mr. Bleed. The rest is history. One of the worst players in league history, David Burr.
That just sounds like
true.
A story
It's
from the
very
office.
true.
Yeah.
I'm horrible.
Yeah, you're fine. You dove in a pickup game, which is rare.
I go hard no matter what sport I play.
All right, it's Christmas season, and we're going to have a Christmas show, Tim, probably a couple weeks.
Yeah, sounds good, Carl.
But
Happy Hanukkah, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Tim is Jewish, so that tells you.
Happy Hanukkah to him.
I have friends from all different religions. Listen, guys, David, Tim, hates the movie Christmas Story.
How can you hate Christmas Story?
Because he's freaking...
It's horrible. It's boring. It's annoying.
Whoa, listen.
It's dumb.
No, it's not.
It's not even funny.
It is the quintessential Christmas movie.
Yes, exactly. Listen, it's not my favorite Christmas movie, but it just brings back fuzzy memories. Because, you just left it on during Christmas, and you would watch it in certain parts. So, David.
Yeah.
I'll give you 40 seconds, because otherwise I'm going to hang up on you. I bet you can't convince us that Christmas Story is a bad movie.
I probably can't because you guys are already convinced that it's a good Christmas movie.
Well, try.
But the fact is, I think it's terrible. Like, first of all, the humor is... Look, I like dumb humor. But that is just so dumb that it's not even funny.
It takes place in the 40s. It's a different time. Sorry, go on.
People weren't so fragile then, Carl.
Oh, my goodness. And then the dad is horrible to his family. And he picks a favorite kid, and it's obvious. And it's really sad because it shows... His dad's really a narcissist.
Did you have siblings, David?
Yeah, he has like 8 siblings.
I have 4 siblings.
So
I'm second of 5 kids.
He's a pastor kid. His parents.
My parents didn't have a favorite.
They didn't have unprotected.
My parents never had a favorite. They never played favorites.
Whatever, Dave. Listen, we have breaking news. Liberty University football team is hiring Hugh Freeze, who got fired because he called prostitutes. Can you believe that?
Sounds kind of hypocritical.
My goodness. Anyways, I'm just pissed off. I went to Liberty, and that's just a bad look. So, all right. The movie takes place in Gary, Indiana, David. Gary, Indiana, which is where
nobody cares about Gary, Indiana.
Let me finish. My dad was born there. My grandparents lived there. That dad reminds me of my granddad. He is my granddad.
Does it still smell like just nastiness?
I don't know.
Oh, good for you.
All right, Ralphie. I was Ralphie when I was little. I was the blonde kid with glasses, and the brother was like my little brother. The brother was Nick. He was a very picky eater. It just reminds me of my life and just growing up in the Midwest, and it just brings me warm feelings. So that's why I like it. Tim's he doesn't even celebrate Christmas, and he liked it.
True story. I actually just missed my eyeball with a pellet gun when I was like 12. And I'd been shooting guns since I was like 5.
Yikes.
Listen, Elf is my favorite Christmas movie, and I know David's obsessed with these like Facebook polls about ranking Christmas movies and Christmas songs.
They're fun. I just like to see everybody's opinions.
I have a tough time putting any movie number 2 over Christmas Story. Where does it rank for you, Tim?
Christmas Story is number 2 to Elf.
Yeah, same here. Elf is amazing. And Burr, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm successful. So, Tim, once again, a successful I Bet You Can't. He had no chance convincing us Christmas Story was a bad movie. And there's very few people, when this idiot goes on Facebook spewing his nonsense about how bad this movie is, he gets blocked usually. I've actually blocked David because of some of his tiger nonsense, but that's for another.
That's pretty funny.
This dude loves Don Kelly, which, yeah.
He's a Don Kelly guy?
He's a Don Kelly guy.
Yeah.
DKB.
No.
No, I know. No. Let's hang up on him. I blocked him for this. I forget what it was, but it was something pro Don Kelly. But anyways, all right, let's dive into this 8-1, which is very
Don Kelly.
Yeah, really. DK. Oh, gosh, I can't think about this right now.
He wasn't an amazing player. I know that.
He wasn't good either.
All good.
He
wasn't horrible.
I saw the Tigers 2019 depth chart. Don Kelly could be a starter right now. It is so bad. But anyway,
all over again.
You know, this is a sports podcast, but Disney Princesses is the 8-1, which we're three guys in our mid-30s, and we're going to break down Disney Princesses because we all saw these movies. Sorry, we're products of the 90s. Most of these movies were either in the 90s or we saw them because we all had a VHS of like Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella. And then there's a couple of the newer movies. Actually, I think Elsa is the only new one. But anyways, let's knock out two of these. Are you guys ready?
All right, yeah, I'm ready.
I'm always ready, Carl.
So Tim and I both have a veto.
Okay.
But we can't use it in a championship. Got it?
Okay.
Yes,
yep, got it.
All right, this first matchup.
I don't think you guys are going to be using your vetoes. You guys aren't using your vetoes, probably.
Our first matchup is Belle, which is from what movie, Tim?
Beauty. Oh.
Apparently Beauty and the Beast.
You didn't know that? No. Wow, I saw his face. Thanks for ruining that. Versus Aurora, which is from a classic.
Is it a quintessential?
Does he know? It's.
Let me ask you, David.
Sleeping Beauty.
Should she have made the cut, or is there someone you'd put
Aurora?
Because listen, Mulan was pretty big.
Mulan?
Yeah, but
the girl,
I don't really. Okay, look.
The Rumpelstiltskin.
Mulan, I don't totally consider as a princess, even though she technically is, I guess.
All right, don't break it down. It's
Chinese military, whatever. So,
right,
okay,
got it. All right, you got it. So who we got? Belle versus Aurora, and why?
This is actually a pretty easy one.
15
Carl.
seconds.
Belle, because why?
Why?
Because Sleeping Beauty, she slept the whole movie.
Yep.
It was a how-to.
How can you really assess somebody who's sleeping all the time?
And you know, she was based off this 17th century Italian tale, and this is crazy.
Okay.
You know, she pricked her finger, like in the movie, and she fell asleep. But instead of like a handsome prince kissing her, it was this old king, and he did it to gather the fruits of her love, which a nicer way of saying is he raped her. So thank you for not picking Aurora, because you would have been vetoed so fast. And you know what? You know what, DB? In the past, people have a tendency of picking my first 8-1. People usually pick the 8 seed over the 1 seed. So I just kind of gave it away.
I've noticed that. I hate that. It's so bad.
Belle. Oh my goodness gracious. So I kind of gave it away. Belle's my 1 seed. I'm a Belle guy. Anyways.
Well, you are.
It's understandable. It's understandable, though.
So if that's my 1 versus 8, if you can figure out basic bracket 101, this is my 4-5 matchup.
Which I have.
This is the toughest first round matchup. It's Elsa versus Cinderella. Tim, is this a crazy matchup for you?
It's not that tough for me.
Carl, this is my dream matchup.
Who would you pick?
Elsa. And I pick Elsa, and I'm pretty sure all the reasons I need are in my browser history.
Jeez. All right, well, this is like old school versus new school, and I kind of heard you burst. So Elsa moves on?
Yeah, definitely Elsa.
All right. I kind of like look for reasons if you were to pick the underdog. And Cinderella, the one I found was that her sisters in the real life story, the non-Disney version, they actually cut off parts of their feet in an attempt to fit the slipper.
Really morbid.
Yeah, then they had their like eyes poked out by doves.
Poked out by birds, yep.
Crazy, right?
And they actually show a little bit of that in the movie Into the Woods.
Yeah. Really? Never saw
that. Really.
So we have Belle and Elsa moving on. No drama, no vetoes used. Are you happy with his choices, Tim?
Yeah, I can't complain. His first choice is a story about how a guy who is like a bear gets a hot chick. So I'll support that. And choice number 2 is about a lady who likes ladies, and I am LGBT friendly, Carl.
All right, so we have the next challenge. It's called the Stolen Baby Jesus Challenge, and we'll see if it works. I'm not sure if it will. I was doing some online researching, and I saw this California church has a live nativity scene. So we're gonna call them, and if someone picks up, you're gonna tell them you saw someone run off with baby Jesus. Okay.
Okay, it's a live nativity scene?
Well, the nativity scene, Carl, is the quintessential scene.
Are you ready, Bird?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think.
Tim, no. This is the first time I did a podcast with Tim next to me. He has a quintessential tally chart going, and he has it at 3.
Yep, that's what I had it at. Right. I told him I'd count how many times this time around.
All right, let's call. Let's see how it goes. Good luck.
Thank you for calling First Christian Church. Our currently closed. Nope. Our normal office hours are...
All right, guys, so the church we tried to call they weren't there. It's okay. We're going to call a Hobby Lobby, and David's going to just freeball it because he wants that Throne of Awesome because $40 is $40. And right now,
I bet I don't get
Rob Daniel, the guy with the long, boring stories, is in the throne because of you, Tim. So it's open, David.
I could not hold a candle as awesome,
okay.
Carl.
All right, let's call.
Hi, I was wondering, you guys got any baby Jesus, little sweet baby Jesus you selling? Like for nativity scenes?
Okay,
with the wise man and
Yeah. Hold on.
Hi, I was wondering about your sweet little baby Jesus for nativity scenes. With the wise men that don't actually belong in the nativity scene. But I just want the sweet little baby Jesus. I think I saw somebody steal one from your store, though. They just up and took him out. Hello? Yeah. They ran off. Unless I was just seeing things. I don't think I was. But I saw them steal. Should I have called the cops and not you?
I wouldn't know what to do. I mean,
you don't know what to do?
Jesus. Do
you have a security system? Well, you don't have them anymore?
No,
Did they all get raptured? They get raptured in the air? Like what he's going to do with the Christians someday? Rapture us all back up to heavens? Are you a Christian, ma'am? That's awesome.
All right, so that's the Stolen Baby Jesus Challenge. It didn't go as planned, but David was a sport. We called Hobby Lobby. He made it work. It was okay. Tim, you're going to decide later if he's worthy of the throne, but how would you grade that prank call challenge? 1 through 5.
Well, Carl, I'd say it's about a 4.5. His accent was flawless.
I'm David from Texas, and I like to extend my vowels a little bit.
The rapture.
Let's jump back in the 8-1 challenge. Disney princess.
Oh, goodness.
We have a big one here. We got Ariel from Under the Sea, Little Mermaid, versus Snow White, the original Disney princess from like the 30s or whatever. I don't know when that was.
Yeah, 1937, I think.
Wow.
Don't ask me why.
My grandma, who's still alive, was 17 when that came out. That's crazy.
Wow.
I had a friend who might want to
She was born in 1920. All right, David, it's your world, and I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't care about this matchup. I will not veto anything you choose. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let me just tell you, Snow White's just plain annoying. Ariel wins this hands down.
Ariel was the first princess that we kind of remember probably from our youth because we're all the same age. We were like 6 or 7.
I did not see The Little Mermaid till I was 15 years old.
What'd you say, Tim?
That's more shocking than I had to say.
Yeah, well, he's weird. What'd you say, Tim?
I can't get that. Did you remember the video game?
No.
Yeah, there's a video game.
Are you vetoing it?
You know what? I'm gonna gonna veto it.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna veto it?
So,
Carl, you're gonna veto that veto, please?
No. I said I don't care about this matchup.
No.
hear me out.
I know.
This one goes out to all the ladies. This lady had 7 little men taking care of her. Think about that.
Yeah, 14 years old. Think about that. She was 14.
She was polyamorous as all hell.
You know, in the Grimm version, whatever.
And wrong.
It was crazy. The queen tried to poison her, or kill her, so she tried to then poison her. Still didn't work. She got the kiss from the prince. And this is one of the few Grimm versions where the princess comes on top. So the Princess Snow White are getting married, and they invite the queen to the wedding. She shows up, and they make her dance around in iron-hot shoes until she dies. Could you imagine hating someone so much where you force her to go to your wedding, then you make her dance around in iron-hot shoes until she dies? And then you just go on with
That's
the wedding.
impressive.
Yeah, all right. We hate you. Come to our wedding.
All right, she's dead.
Put on these
Let's
shoes.
get married.
Die. Snow White got the revenge, so she moves on. Congratulations, Tim. Who cares about that matchup, like I said? So anyway, we're moving along. We've talked about a lot of things, guys. We've talked about hippopotamuses. Who dies next? Christmas Story. Disney princesses.
How does he hate Christmas Story? I still can't get past that. This is a sports show.
I don't get this guy at all.
It's a terrible movie. It's okay. You have your bad opinions. I have my opinions.
So the first time in show history, I have a pre-main topic, and it's sports related.
This is a sports show, Carl.
Lean into the mic and tell me what kind of shirt you're wearing.
I'm wearing a Detroit Tigers shirt.
Do you remember in 2008, Burr, when the Tigers were able to trade for a guy by the name of Miguel Cabrera, who was probably at the time like 25 years old?
Yep, 25. He's the same age as we are, Carl.
Yep. And
he's 4 months younger than you, 2 months older than me.
He was, whoa, geez.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, really. So he was killing it. A couple MVPs. He won a triple crown, which is extremely rare.
But it couldn't have won. Mike Trout should have won it that year.
He might be my favorite Tiger of all time.
My brother.
Do you remember where you were when they made the trade, Carl?
No. Here's the thing, though. Now he's on a team with a bunch of a-holes like you, Tim. Like him and Jordan Zimmerman are making a lot of money, and then there's no one else, really. It's a
dumpster fire, Carl.
But here's the thing: you can make trades, you can eat salary, There's a lot of years left. I think he has 4 or 5 years left, and you could pay 30-40% of the salary and dump him off. So here's my question to you guys. I'll go to you first, Burr. Is Miguel Cabrera going to finish his career with the Detroit Tigers? This is a sports podcast. This is a sports question. Who would want him?
That's a tough question, Carl. Exactly, because I know this year he tore his bicep, and that's what took him out for the entire season. That doesn't mean he won't make a good comeback next year. But he's been with the Tigers now 11 seasons. So does he really want to go anywhere? Are they going to make him go anywhere? There are a lot of questions to factor in here. Can he stay healthy? I don't think he has a lot of seasons left in him, per se. Maybe a few.
You could be an ALDH into your early 40s.
That's true.
So that kind of limits his trade value, though. You can't trade into the National League. But maybe first base. He's not a terrible first baseman.
No, he's not.
So what's your answer? I mean, it's a yes or no question, and you're kind of.
I know, but this is a hard one. I'm trying to think. What do I think he will finish it with the Tigers because I think he loves the city for some reason.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know why people love Detroit, but they do when they come on their sports teams, or at least they say they do.
Because they paid him $500 million. What about you, Tim?
That's true.
Tell this guy he's foolish.
I think
he hates it here.
Carl, this is a quintessential bad contract for a great player. It's a thank you of sorts. I think he'll get moved for a prospect we'll have to pay for.
Maybe. Here's the thing, though. Miguel Cabrera, he did the dream. He won a World Series his rookie year at 19. Could you imagine? Or 20. I don't know what it was.
2003.
So you knocked
He was 20. 2003.
So say you knocked it out your first year. Like, all right, cool. I can just play for money now. So he has his World Series ring. He has his legacy. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's clean. DUI. He's never had any allegations of steroids. He will be in the Hall of Fame, and he'll wear the Tigers hat. If he gets traded tomorrow, he's wearing a Tigers hat in the Hall of Fame, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
yes.
I hope they do trade him. Like, I missed Verlander, but I get it. And some of those prospects who are coming up from that trade, they're looking good. You know, if the Tigers can eat 30-40% of that salary and get some good prospects, maybe he can go to a team. I can't even name a team right now.
That's not a hot and ready.
Can you name, I can't even name one team who would want him. That's the problem. Like a good AL team that needs a DH. I mean, maybe the Astros. I don't know. But here's the thing. It's a lot of salary to eat up, even at 60-70%. So,
I think he's going to go to a Southern team or a real wild card. He'll go to like the Rockies.
Maybe he can play. He can still play first. Yeah. He's not super old, man.
No,
if you had to put a gun to my head, I'd be like, yeah, I'm leaning with Burr. I don't know. I don't see it, but I'm not. I'm like 60-40. 60% stays with the Tigers. 40% someone. Maybe he has a good. Maybe he has a good first half and he stays healthy. Because I follow him on Instagram and he's really trying. But we got to move on to the main topic. The main topic. But before we do, we got another first round matchup. Burr.
All right. Okay.
Ethnic version. Jasmine from what movie, Tim?
Aladdin.
Gosh, man, Tim.
Sorry, you're saying the name after you. I mean, you know.
Versus Pocahontas from
what
movie, Tim?
Oh man, Carl. This is like that movie where they have the panic room that I just never remember.
So we got one veto used. Mine's still available. What do you got, Burr? You fool.
Jasmine.
No.
Jasmine. No questions asked.
Question there. So we got Belle, Elsa, Snow White, and Jasmine. That's a pretty big final.
I'm sad the Snow White's in that semifinal.
Wow, shut up.
Just wrong.
Can you believe this guy? Who cares about that matchup?
Can I speak my piece about Jasmine?
Yeah, what?
I picked Jasmine.
Oh, is that Jasmine?
Less chance I'm related to her than Pocahontas.
Jasmine also had a pet tiger. I mean,
all right, let's go to the real topic here.
Pet tiger. Okay.
That's a lot of noise. Anyways, here we go. It's called PC PETA. What does PC mean, Burr?
Politically correct.
Which is ruining this country.
Yes, it is.
The last thing I ever want to do is make this show political. But we will. We will tonight.
But Carl, this is a sports show.
Is it? You know what this show is? It's making a lot of noise in the background, featuring DB. Anyways, PETA has been pissed lately, Burr. You know why? Because they are pissed at this, the way we just use animals in this everyday language. And there's
because they're Mormons. That's why.
5 sayings that they want to change. So we're going to go through them, and we're going to go through what they want to say instead. We got a ridiculous scale, 1 through 10, and then we're going to make it even more offensive. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Tim?
I'm ready, Carl.
I'm so ready. So the first one is called "Kill 2 birds with 1 stone," which you can use that's famous. Come on. You know what? Right. You know what PETA wants to say, Tim and Burr?
What, Carl?
Feed 2 birds with 1 scone. So, Burr.
So dumb.
First off, we're gonna rate how ridiculous the one they want to use is. 1 through 10. How ridiculous? What do you
is 10 being the most ridiculous?
Yeah.
Then?
Yep.
I'd rank it about a 12.
Stop it. So a 10 from David. I only have
10.
Dude, Tim wrote a 12 too before he even said it. I guess I'm a little bit nicer.
Hey, great minds think alike, right?
I have a 7. So who wants to go first? You want to go first, Burr, or you want someone else?
Sure, I'll go.
How do we make it even more offensive? Then
decapitate I can't talk. Decapitate a flock of birds with 1 guillotine.
It rolls right off the tongue. What do you got, Tim?
1 bullet at 2 dead birds, Carl.
So instead of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I have beat 22 birds with 1 ostrich bone.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's really amazing.
I did my homework. All right, let's move on. So we have a couple of 12s, so that's going to be tough to beat. You know what? You know what?
They're all 12s.
You know what phrase PETA hates, Burr?
All of them?
Be the guinea pig. We use guinea pig like it's nothing. Like, yeah, we have some nail polish to test. Put it on the guinea pig.
Well, why's the pig got to be a guinea, Carl?
What is that noise? You getting shot at?
It's me.
What is that?
What? Typing on my phone. So, sorry.
What's going on? Is he
Sounds like he's whacking it.
This is awful. Awful. Is he okay? What is that?
Hey, I'm good. I'm sorry. It's my phone. My phone's loud. Yeah, it's done.
That was weird, though. What was that? Are you getting shot?
Oh,
it's
typing.
So instead of be the guinea pig, it's be the test tube. That's what they want to use instead.
But why has the pig got to be a guinea? I can't get past that, Carl.
So how ridiculous is the new phrase, Tim? 1 through 10.
Carl, I'm gonna say it's a solid 8. But who doesn't like a solid 8?
Nah, I mean this one's not a big deal to me. 6. What do you got, Burr?
That one. It's weird to me. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Whatever. All right, Burr, lead us off. Make it more offensive then. Be the guinea pig.
I'm just gonna be honest. I'm
more
really bad at this. Beat the guinea pig.
It's not bad, actually. I have beat 2, and I'll finish off later. Actually, I'll go now. So instead of be the guinea pig, I have beat a pig in Papua New Guinea.
Where there are none.
Yeah, all right. We'll bring one just to beat it. What do you got, Tim?
I don't know, Carl. I just went with that joke about why's the pig got to be a guinea. I'm really stuck on that tonight.
That's all right. We're 2 down, but we're going to move back to 8-1, where we're at the final 4. Guess who still has a veto?
You do.
Oh, stop that noise.
The test tube, where you were born.
So we
get at the test tube.
Now, this is a huge matchup. It probably should be the finals, but it's not. Belle versus Elsa.
Okay, Belle.
This sounds like something in my browser history, Carl.
Did you say Belle?
I did. I sure did.
Well, that's good radio. Why?
Why?
Of course, why?
Emma Watson.
Can you believe this guy?
We're talking cartoons.
Okay, there's more than that, dude.
It has to be an even playing field. I just wanted to hear
the reaction from you guys.
Even playing field.
I mean, this movie tells guys like us that we have a chance.
Elsa is a strong, independent lesbian, and you're going to just throw her down the stairs?
Elsa's also kind of cruel to her sister.
She live on in my browser history, Carl.
She's kind of mean.
Oh, she's mean.
Belle's ready to sacrifice her life for her father immediately. So Belle's pretty selfless the entire way through.
Which is quintessentially un-American. That's 5.
Sure she has a sense of Stockholm syndrome or whatever, but she decides to see past the exterior of the beast, and once he becomes a person underneath, she falls in love.
As a medical professional, do you think she has a psychological disorder, or is she just tripping balls, DB?
I'd say a psychological disorder for sure.
I can use a veto, but I'm not going to. I've never even seen Frozen. Sorry. Like, how would I see it? It came out well into my 30s.
2013.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old enough. All these other movies, I was a little kid.
So Frozen was a good movie.
Nah.
So DB, you're saying you've seen this?
I have. I watched it by myself.
You watched it yesterday.
I just want to point out that Kristen Bell is a voice in the movie, and I think she's the dreamiest woman of all the women.
I wish I could have included Anna.
She is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But she was stupid. She married a guy when she first met him.
She was. Yeah, that's dumb.
So we just had DB taking Belle to the finals, which I'm thrilled about.
I don't know, Carl.
There's 3 left. There's Belle, Snow White, and Jasmine, and I still have a veto. But we're going back to the main topic. PC, PETA. And here's the saying. Number 3, beat a dead horse. And PETA says, guys, ladies, use this instead. How about you feed a fed horse? What the hell does that even mean? Whatever.
Why would you feed a fed horse?
Exactly.
If it's already fed, it doesn't want any more food.
I'm giving it an 8 on ridiculous. What about you, Tim?
Carl, I'm turning up to 11.
Oh, that's big.
And you know what? It's redundant.
That's funny. I was thinking
it's unnecessary.
That. It is.
So what about you, Burr?
It's funny. It's funny. I was thinking 11, but I decided to go with 10, so I didn't go off the scale.
Instead of beat a dead horse. And I had a tough time. I tried to make it sound the same. I have, just to be funny,
I didn't.
Feed a dead horse. Because it's like, all right, You want to beat a dead horse? You want to feed a fed horse? So I'm just going to mix them both together and feed a dead horse. Because you know what? Why would PETA care?
Man.
It's already dead, and you're feeding it. Like, there's no chance, right, Tim, that PETA's going to care that I'm feeding an animal that's already dead. They're just going to be like...
It's cruelty.
No, it's not.
No, they would say it's cruelty. Which is kind of where I'm going with this.
What do you got,
nice.
Tim? What's your saying?
Horses need love too, Carl.
Okay.
What?
All right, Burr. I guess you find that funny. I don't. What do you got?
Shoot a live horse along with its owner.
I wish I could play sound effects.
Okay. I'm not funny. You guys know that, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
I mean, yeah, that's just kind of mean. So we have 2 left. But before we go to the next one, we're going to move back to 8-1. Because in past podcasts, I would just neglect the 8-1. So I'm gonna stay up to date. We have our second semifinal matchup, Burr, and it's the last time I can use a veto.
Oh, man.
We have Snow White, which you didn't pick, versus Jasmine, who you did pick. Who moves on to the finals to face Belle?
Jasmine.
Oh, a whole new world, a fantastic
Who doesn't love that song,
place I
right?
never knew. Yes, good one. Now I'm way up here, it's crystal clear, and now I'm in a whole new world.
You're ruining it, Carl.
Now I'm in a whole new... Tim was singing.
No, I wasn't. I don't know
Okay.
that song.
I'm
I just
not...
know.
You don't know that
Can
song.
you believe this? No vetoes from Carl. That means I'm on the same page as DB.
That is a sight to behold.
Belle versus Jasmine.
It
We'll
is.
get to that later. And that's
So will I.
that's a heavyweight matchup, and you did it, Burr. The 1 and the 2 seeds go to the finals.
Do you think I can Google
Well,
Belle and
Yeah.
Jasmine and see what comes up?
I mean, do what you have to. And now I'm going to go to the 4th. PC PETA saying,
Private?
this is a big one, Tim. It's called Bring Home the Bacon. PETA's pissed at that. They're like, wow, why you bring home the bacon? How about you bring home the bagels? How ridiculous is that, Tim? You go first.
Oh, Carl, I am outraged. I am hashtag triggered. I have a gluten
Triggered.
allergy. Can I just say that when I was a young child,
Bagels' life matters, too.
they do. Those glutens have feelings.
Yep.
And apparently, their feelings affect me. But what I want to say is, when I was a child, I had a pig. You know, his name was Christmas Morning Breakfast.
Whoa. So
He was delicious.
how ridiculous is the bagel comment?
It triggers me. It's 13.
Oh,
It's
geez.
the highest rating.
Well, you don't follow the rules. It's the 1 to 10. What do you got, Burr?
I'm going to go with a 5, really, because,
Wow.
I mean, bagels are still food. So, and they're not horrible, I guess.
Who's not offended?
I don't know.
How about you make it more offensive
dumb.
than bacon, though?
Bring home the severed pig's head.
Not bad. Probably your best one yet. What do you got, Tim? How do you make it more offensive? Oh, my goodness. All right. Tim Googled Belle and Jasmine, and it was all just porn.
Oh, no.
Carl, it's a whole new world.
Oh, no.
Jeez, oh, peace. Aren't they like teenagers?
That would be a whole goal. Yes.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Years ago.
Stay on
They're like
topic.
85 now.
Stay-
So is Aladdin post-apocalyptic, or is it set like 1,000 years ago? I'm so confused.
How do you bring home the bacon? How do you make that more offensive?
Take the bacon home, Al-Qaeda.
Jeez.
Thanks, Al-Qaeda, for the bacon.
Okay, and Carl's turn. How about you bring home the directions to the pig farm to pick out our dinner?
I like it.
Yeah, I guess, whatever.
Carl, what does PETA stand for?
Who knows? Who cares?
I
Here we
thought
go.
it was prissy, educated, triggered a-holes.
Maybe.
Yeah, sounds good.
Probably.
Yeah, PETA.
We got one left, dude. PETA's pissed at this one. They're like, all right, take the bull by the horns. We say that. I don't, but people do, I guess. Instead, instead of saying that, you know what they say, Tim? How about you take the flower by the thorns? Which seems like a bad idea.
It sounds painful, Carl.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
They don't care about, fingers matter too. Hashtag.
And isn't the flower going to hurt from being pulled?
This is just stupid, though. Ridiculous scale. I'll give it a 7. I don't care. What do you got, Tim?
Carl, I gave it a 10.
Yeah.
By the way, I was confused. it was thorn with a TH, not just an H. So I thought it was horny instead of thorny. That's a fact.
What do you got, Burr?
I'm going to give it an 8.761.
Oh, cool. Right. And Tim, you can go first. How do we make Take the Bull by the Horns even more offensive to these PC PETAs?
You take your sister to prom.
Okay. All right, so instead of Take the Bull by the Horns, we're going to take the bull by the bull penis and jack it off and then sell the sperm for profit. No. Yeah, it's a little bit long. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It's a little long, that's what she said.
But you have a good bull, you can make some money. What do you got, Burr?
Gore the bull by its horns.
Meow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should have had mine first, then you could have done yours. Then
that's not how it always works.
Then even funnier.
All right, let's just.
Mine's so dumb.
Let's just finish off here. We're in the finals of this 8-1, guys. And
yes,
we had Tim, my sidekick. He went on his phone. He Googled Belle versus Jasmine, and all he got was really offensive cartoon pornography.
Carl, I know how I'm spending my night now.
So we have Belle, who was Beauty and the Beast. It was the first Disney movie to go live action, and now they're all going to do it. But that was the first one. Emma Watson, she looked good. Very auto-tuned in the singing, but that's fine. And versus Jasmine, which that one's going to be a live action movie as well.
Yes.
So we got France versus Saudi Arabia, Tim?
Agrabah.
Where's that? Iraq?
No, it's a made-up place. It's actually India.
It's based off. It's based off India.
It's supposed to be India.
So we have France versus India, and it's your world, Bird. Look, I didn't use my veto, and it's gone now.
I know.
I know. It's my 1 versus 2. Who do you got? Who wins?
Well, Carl, Aladdin has always been my favorite Disney movie, and Jasmine has always been my faget. Jasmine wins.
I have never
Jasmine over Belle.
Been so angry.
And you can't use your veto, Carl.
I can't.
And this is a sports show.
Don't get me wrong, I love Belle.
Could you imagine
Jasmine?
This is a sports podcast, and we're talking. This is a topic for 13-year-old girls. Our man cards are gone. And
well, let me tell you, Carl. My night is filled with Disney princesses on Pornhub. Shout out.
So Jasmine wins. That's fine. She beat Pocahontas. She beat Snow White, and she beat Belle.
Who is your quintessential favorite Disney princess, Carl?
Belle. Belle's my 1.
And only.
That's the podcast. Burr, you're a loyal listener. We've been wanting to do this show for a while. And we'll see if it works out.
Carl.
Tim, is he worthy of the Throne of Awesome? Cue the music.
Sweet baby Jesus. Sinners can't sit on the Throne of Awesome. Go to hell.
Wow. Sorry about that.
Wow. That's not nice.
Took it to a different level.
211, Carl.
That's mean.
You're not
harsh, Tim.
You're not on the throne, but
I thought we were brothers. Brothers in arms, man.
No.
Let me deep.
I'm giving it to Tim to choose the Throne of Awesome, and he says no, so sorry. Your thoughts?
It's fine. I didn't expect it.
With last week's stories of Real Sex 16.
I actually...
Yeah, bro, listen, you're a loyal listener. Were those stories... Were Rob Daniels' stories boring?
Honestly, this is the first one that I've missed.
Oh, really? You didn't listen?
I haven't listened just yet. I know I wanted to, and I kept thinking, I need to listen to it, and then I never got around to it. So I'll probably listen to it tomorrow on my way to work or on my way home from work, either way.
All right, so we have David Burr, who was in Austin, Texas. That was our guest, my sidekick, Tim, who, if he gets downgraded any less, I don't know what to call him. And I'm your host, Carl Coffey. We'll talk to you next time for episode 11. See ya!